Oh, good day. It's about 5:30 on a Friday night, and I'm just about to head off to work. While most sane people are heading home from work, looking forward to the weekend. I was watching a video today by Mr. Oz Adventure, and he'd put a video up about the 2022 Sink the Planet ride. When I first saw his thing on Instagram or Facebook about the fact that it was about to come up, I was gutted because I usually go on those or do something with them, and yeah, I've missed that one. I missed that boat completely, but it was real cool to watch and listen to what he had to say. Apparently they've changed the format a little bit. It used to be that everybody who wanted to do it around the world, a lot of people got involved, would set off at whatever local time, 10 a.m. Paris time, Paris, France time was. And so of course down here in the southern hemisphere, I think he said that they used to set off at 8 p.m. For us it was 10 p.m. apparently, and I wish I'd known. They say that any time in that first weekend of, what are we up? August, which of course is the Europe summertime. Any time over that weekend, if you want to make a video and talk about whatever the subject is of that year, and then hashtag it Sink the Planet 2022. And the subject for this year was, apparently, although I missed the boat, but I might put it up anyway. Cheating, cheating. The subject for this year was what effects has the pandemic, the old nasty COVID thing, had on you. For me, that first lockdown, I was still working up in Auckland, and Trisha was down here, so I couldn't get down here for, what was it, 3 months? I can't remember what the first one was. But it was really frustrating not being able to come down. As soon as they announced it, my oldest son gathered up his family and hightailed it down here because his wife was pregnant with their second child. She actually ended up having the baby at our house with a couple of midwives there, One of them, the support midwife, was my daughter. So that was one effect of it. Because I work on the rail, I was still working on days off and things. I couldn't come down here to see Trish or do anything like that. So I was doing a lot of walking with the dogs. I had the dogs with me up there, taking photos in West Auckland. I discovered some really nice spots around the place. Yeah. And I do remember going to work, even at rush hour, morning and afternoon, and how peaceful the motorway was, how little traffic there was. There was still some. A lot of people still had to go to work, all the essential services and that. But compared to what it normally is like up there, man, it was great. And then, going to work or coming home in the wee small hours, there'd be nothing on the motorways or the suburban streets and things. During that second lockdown, when the rest of the country was on one level and Auckland was on the high level, they created a border around Auckland and had military helping the police and these checkpoints all around the place. In fact, I made a video. I went out deliberately because I had some friends that lived near there. So I went out to see what that was all about and went through the checkpoint, but I was only going straight ahead, not going south. G'day, Rip. Okay. G'day, mate. I'm going straight up to visit some old people. Good on you, mate. So that was all good, but it was interesting. Yeah, and then one time I had to go through the go through the border. The border, unbelievable. Strange days indeed. Oh, I made a video called Strange Days Indeed. had some music on there from John Lennon, I think it was, and it was up for 6 months or so before I got the copyright strike and they took it down.
Nobody told me there'd be days like these.
Anyway, where was I? Yeah. Another time when I was going through on a train, they weren't stopping the trains, of course. Going through a train, and where they had this border was at the end of a off-ramp, which was at the top of a bridge, an overbridge for the motorway and the railway line. And I'd heard during the day on the news that there was big queues there and all snarled up, but I was going through about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, whatever it was, so obviously it had all settled down. They had it sorted out, but I could see as I was approaching that there were a line of police officers up the, about half a dozen of them up the off-ramp, and one car at the very top, and they were talking to him. As I went underneath the bridge, of course they all turn around and see the train coming. One of them waved out and "Dirt" on the loco horn, and they're all, hey, jumping up and down excited, so it broke the boredom for them or something. I don't know. That was a bit of fun. Another time we'd gone into a lower level and we were able to travel, so I shot down here, see Trish and get everything done. And I was heading back up to go to work. Over the course of that weekend, they brought in another lockdown, so I got stuck at a checkpoint. The guy he gave me a bit of grief. The address on my license was different to the address that I gave him, because I was then, by that time, living with my daughter out west, daughter and her partner at the time, now husband. Hey, so he gave me a bit of grief about, you've got to, you're supposed to have proof of address and all that. I said, look, I work with the railways and I'm now living in limbo, and my wife's down there and I'm up here and I'm just trying to get back to go to work. Oh, okay, well, away you go, but you make sure you have it. He's just doing his job. And I think, like most people, I was bloody over it by then. But it's what it is. So I've had all the jabs. We had to do it for work. Otherwise, we couldn't work. Bloody, see what I mean? They don't know where they're dipped for it. Just, yeah, had all the jabs. I had them early too, because apparently I'm immunocompromised or something. Dodged the bullet so far as that COVID thing goes. And so had the family until recently. Well, a few weeks ago, my daughter's two older kids got it, and they were knocked down, but only for about 24 hours. The cook has high temperature and throat and all that, cough. My daughter got it herself. She was very ill with it. Really knocked her down. And then she came right, and then bang, got something else, what was it, a real bad throat, dizzy, and not good. So we were trying to support her as much as we could, going around there wearing masks, etc., etc. And I recently had to go to a doctor's appointment, to my own doctor, and I told her all about it. And she said, oh, you may have had it, but just such a small dose that it didn't show up on the rat test. I said, oh yeah, okay. Well, I had absolutely no symptoms and the whole time, blah, blah, blah. She said, well, we could do the test that is much more accurate. They sent it off to the lab. We could do that test, and that would show whether you got any antibodies whatsoever, whether you've had it or not. I said, oh yeah, no. She said, well, let's do that for fun, she says. Oh, okay, let's do it. So she did it, sent it off. I thought, this is going to be interesting, because I've been around it. There's only me and one other guy at the depot who haven't had it. It's weird. Anyway, I get a email or text or something from the, people that do that stuff, saying that they'd received my COVID test sample, and I should get a result within 72 hours. Well, it was that later that evening when I get another one saying, your COVID test has tested negative, so even with the highly accurate one. They seem to be strangely resistant. But as somebody said to me, when you do get it, you're going to be knocked for a shit can. And probably right. Eh? Probably. But we shall see. Well, that was a lot of waffly. So that's how the COVID thing, the pandemic thing, has affected us. Then I couldn't get down here, but I've carried on working. Trish is also considered an essential worker. So she's been working, but she's had it. Yeah, she's had it. Oh, yeah. It knocked her down too. Wow. Actually, I was quite concerned for a couple of days there. But 3 days into it, something like that, she was feeling dizzy every time she stood up, very weak, very tired, and then she started saying she had like heart palpitations, like a fluttering heart, and dizzy, really dizzy when she tried to stand up. And that freaked me out. So I asked my daughter about it because she's a midwife, you know, medical type person. She said, oh, we need to keep an eye on that. So we bought one of those gadgets that they use them in hospitals. They put them on your finger, like a soft lamp. And it measures your oxygen percentage in your blood, I don't know how, and your heart rate. So she put that on Trish's finger, and she's normal. She's all good. So she puts it on my finger, and she has a look, and she said, oh, you're dead. Yeah. But no, you don't get rid of me that easy. And so apparently it was because my fingers was freezing cold. It was a real cold morning. So we waited till I'd warmed up, tried it again. All good. I'm still alive. So that's the railway yard, Napier Railway Yard. That'll be our loco just there, I'd imagine. And that'll be the shunt loco coming in from Hastings, and those are probably stuff for us. They'll be loaded, those wagons. Right. Put my baby away. And its special little privileged shed. Come on, darling. Up you go. We'll be back in about 9 hours or something. Alrighty. Well, there's the moon above Napier Hill. Alright, catch you later.